Welcome to the People of Nature podcast. Today we have with us the rover girl. Confused? That's her Instagram name. Our today's guest, Aarini Ghosh, is a bioacoustics researcher, avid traveler, and a blogger. Welcome, Aarini, to our podcast.
Hi, Pankaj. Such a nice introduction. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting. I'm really glad that I'm in this podcast.
Thanks, Aarini, for being here. Let me introduce you to our audience. Aarini is a master's in zoology and is currently pursuing her PhD from Ashoka University. For her PhD, she studies song diversity and evolution, especially nocturnal song diversity in subtropical forests of Meghalaya using bioacoustics. Arini has discovered three cricket species belonging to the genus Hexacentrus, previously unknown to science. Prior to her current engagement as a PhD scholar with Ashoka, Arini has worked with ICER Kolkata and ICER Tirupati. So, welcome Arini to the People of Nature podcast.
Yes, thank you.
So, Arini, we're going to go one by one. We'll be asking you some questions. We would like to know more about you. But since you are a bioacoustic researcher, I think we are having the first bioacoustics researcher on our podcast. Of course, everyone is interested in knowing what is bioacoustics. So, my first question to you is this bioacoustics seems to be an interesting and specific field, right? So, how did your research interest gravitate towards this field?
Okay, it's really a great question. Honestly speaking, when I thought to enter into PhD, I never thought I will work on bioacoustics. I always wanted to work on ecology and then behavior and all this field. But thanks to my PI, so my when I joined Ashoka University, I got to know first time about the bioacoustic research. I knew that there is okay, the sounds are there, animal sounds are there, but what's about it? Like in general, what is people thinking about it? Like, okay, there's some animal sound. This is a part of the behavior. What's extra about it? What's more about it?
Right.
So I got to more interested when first time my PI took me to Kudremukh.
Okay.
So we went to Kudremukh National Park in Kadari village, and at the night he took me to a troll inside the forest and all, and he said, "Ki, okay, Aarini, I wanted to introduce you to the acoustic worlds of
Mhm.
animal." And he asked me to just close your eyes and try to
Mhm.
identify how many sound you can hear. I think
Wow.
that the same day it was no moon, and
Mhm.
I close my eyes for 1 minute. I try to focus, and I hear
Mhm.
almost 7 to 8 different sounds of insects coming from different directions.
Amazing.
I think that's the day I decided, okay, I wanted to work on bioacoustics because this is an amazing field which we always avoid. We don't focus much. There is very few bioacoustic researcher exist in India.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, why not? And every
Mhm.
animal have produce different sounds, and it's a
Yeah.
very good way of communication. Why not explore it? So yeah, that's how I got interested, and I got introduced to bioacoustics.
Wow. I think the way you are narrating this story, I guess anyone who would just listen to this sound world out there would really fall in love with it, and I think start working on it. So I mean, I can really understand why you must have jumped into bioacoustics. Must be really interesting to work in this field. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Marini, that sounds like I mean amazing. Just great. I mean, never heard of this earlier. So, I guess for our audience, it's going to be a new experience. Of course, we'll talk more about it. So,
Sure.
before you joined this PhD, I think you were working with various institutes, mainly ICERs,
Yeah,
Tirupati and
yeah.
Kolkata both. And there you worked on mammal behavior, right? So, how was your
Yes.
experience working in ICERs and overall mammal behavior domain?
Yes. I wanted to tell you one thing that
Mhm.
I came from masters in molecular biology. So in a
Okay.
molecular biology, I always works in
Mhm.
in a wet lab and all, but I
Mhm.
always wanted to enter into ecology. So
Mhm.
So either Tirupati and either Kolkata give me that,
Okay.
that push and the first
Right.
step to stand to go for the
Mhm.
ecology. So it was an amazing experience. Like first time I work, like before that it was all theoretical. That the first time I get into practically working with
Mhm.
mammals. So in either Tirupati, I worked with the squirrels. So it's
Yeah.
basically it was in the lab, but you have to analyze all the videos of different squirrels and see
Mhm.
their personality behavior. It was super interesting. And then in the second, in either Kolkata, it was in a dog lab where with Dr. Indita. So where I learn how to sample different kind of behavior from the dogs, stray dogs. And I
Oh,
think, yeah, that's actually make my first mm, step for the going to the
mhm.
ecology field. I'm glad I was interns in the both institute.
Wow. So both of these were like stepping stones for you to engage more in
Exactly,
evolution.
exactly.
Wow. Amazing. So my third question, I think all of us here want to know more about it. So not many researchers are fortunate enough to discover a new species, but you discovered three cricket species new to science. That is just mind-boggling. So what was the journey like?
Okay, so when I entered PhD, I didn't knew कि I'm gonna discover three new species, and it became a huge thing.
Yeah.
But it start like I was doing my Reiki surveys in Meghalaya, and then I
Uh,
hear which I named after that Hexacentrus khasiensis,
yeah.
and it's find unique, and I didn't know which species it is because I first time I was working with Katydids, so I didn't knew
Mhm.
what Katydid it is. And then I came
Mhm.
back to my campus in Ashoka. There I
Mhm.
hear like similar kind of buzzing sound,
Okay.
and the animal look also a little bit similar. So I thought,
Mhm.
okay, might be possible they both the same.
Yeah.
But then I recorded the sound and I find out, oh, they both are different in sound, and it's like huge
Okay.
difference between the sound, but they
Mhm.
have like similar kind of features. Then that the interest drive to me for to know
Mhm.
the genus more better, like which animal
Yeah.
it is. And then when I went more depth in the taxonomy, then I find
Mhm.
out, okay, no one discovered this.
Yeah.
And then so that's how I find out Hexacentrus Ashoka and Khasiensis in Shillong. And then the third species was also discovered. It's very uncertainly. It's like I was so basically what happened. My usually the species in the dry areas people used to not to
Mhm.
concentrate much. Like
Yeah.
people always focus in the tropical parts of the country.
So, yeah.
So one day I was just looking for the Hexacentrus Ashoka, but the season
Mhm.
didn't start. So
Okay.
then I thought, but I thought like but I hear like similar kind of organism I saw, but the
Mhm.
different sound. Then I
Mhm.
find out Hexacentrus tiddi. So that's how I
Okay.
discovered these three species. So it was
Wow.
amazing experience, and I started liking discovering more species because there is very much very less species are
Yeah.
recorded, especially in the insect category. Yeah, it
Mhm.
was my honor, and thanks to my whole team in Ashoka and in Punjab University, Dr.
Yeah.
Ranjana's lab. So thanks to
Right.
them, I discovered this tree.
Amazing, amazing. It must be like really exciting to, when you discover your first species. I think that just out of the world experience, and now you
Yes,
these days
definitely.
you're a pro in it. So with three species in basket, and you're saying that you might have even more, species.
Yes, hope so.
Okay,
But
so we are
yeah,
all
when you
waiting for
see one species have a beside the species name is your name is written, that's a very
that.
different experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, definitely. I can understand that. Amazing, amazing. So great. So, I mean,
Thank
this
you.
was purely based on the bioacoustics that you studied, and then you entered into the morphological taxonomy, and then you realized that they're different, right?
Yes, I did morphological taxonomy and bio. So with them, they look very cryptic in in features, but
Yeah.
when you go in the more fine morphological characteristics and the bioacoustics, they're different. And it was not reported before this all three. So that's why, and also we did genetic also. Maybe
Right.
that gonna be published soon. Uh,
Wow.
yeah.
Amazing. So your PhD is completely on acoustics, bioacoustics. So can you tell us a little bit more about your PhD and what exactly you're looking at, and how does it help in biodiversity conservation in Meghalaya?
Yes. So basically, my work is to see the call divergence. So it's mostly ecological and evolutionary work, uh,
Okay.
where I wanted to see that how different kind of species, different sounds are evolving to different, uh, and the whole the gathering all the proof of evolution that happen in the sounds in the in
Yeah.
case of Katydids. That and the another project is that where I am seeing the diversity of the sound, especially the nocturnal sound in a tropical forest, because the Meghalaya is a place where the sound is no one recorded much sounds and no one knows what all are there.
Yeah.
So I am exploring that. And when it comes to the conservation, maybe in my PhD, conservation is not the part of it, but I want to apply it because so
Yeah.
bioacoustic is one of the best way to do non-invasive uh, monitoring. So like if
Yeah.
you wanted to know the health of the forest, like how better it
Mhm.
is, so you just do the bioacoustic monitoring and then
Yeah.
find out, okay, this many different kind of sounds are there. That means this many
Right.
different kind of organisms are there. So
Right.
it's much more diverse.
Correct.
And when you connect it with the food chain and the food web with other animal, then
Mm.
and the community ecology, then you can see that how rich is that diversity, and also you can quantify the diversity and check the health and how also the climate change is affecting. If you see the
Mhm.
long-term monitoring, then you can see how the in a different landscape changes, how the bioacoustics is getting changed. So
Right.
yeah.
Wow. So meaning your data, baseline data would really be important for understanding, realizing the conservation goals for this particular region.
Exactly, exactly. We are trying to fix that. Like I am doing passive acoustic monitoring where
Mhm.
I put up a passive acoustic recorder. I use audio
Yeah.
moth in the forest and recorded the sound and collecting
Mhm.
it and trying to annotate the sound and characterizing it. So it can be used as a model in the future,
Right.
especially in the birds. Many people did, but with the
Yeah.
nocturnal animal, no one did much work in India. So we are trying to do that.
Wow, that's amazing. So I think in this whole process where you're working in the Meghalaya forest, you also set up the first research station of your lab in Meghalaya. So what were the ups and
Yes.
downs you faced in this entire process, and were the locals involved in this initiative?
Yes, that's gonna be a long conversation. Yes. So I joined PhD in 2018, and my first field trip in Meghalaya was 2018.
Hmm.
And I got my field station on 2021. So you can understand like the
Oh,
time
that's
difference
a long
I
time,
need to
yeah.
put to prove
Hmm.
that okay. So in the beginning it was super hard because
Hmm.
so Meghalaya, the parts of the Meghalaya used to work. It is not very common that there the researcher are coming and working, especially a
Hmm.
woman researcher at night working.
Correct,
So
yeah.
it was really a shocking for them, and also uh, this Meghalaya state and the many people, they are not aware about a lot of outsiders come and stay. So they wanted to protect their own culture and all. So in
Yeah.
that scenario, they are also very thoughtful about like, shall we give, like they are very doubtful about it. Shall we give to her the space or not?
Okay.
Is it okay? Is it
Right.
safe? Is she going to violate our culture? Is she
Hmm.
going to ruin our culture? And all of these things are
Oh.
there. So when in this whole process, I had to understand their sociology, like how the social
Mhm.
structure in this community work and how
Yeah.
they play a role. But I'm lucky that even after lots of struggle, finally I got a field
Mhm.
station. Even when I went, they
Mhm.
denied. Actually, it
Oh.
was really like we went for 3 months to searching. by bike in every village, going like, please give us a stay, give us a stay. I want to stay. And they're like, oh, you're a girl who go stay alone and you want to go at a night in the forest. That's not going to work. So
Oh.
then I had, thanks to one of my colleague was interning with us. He was a local student,
Mhm.
local person, so he actually went and talked and then convinced. So I then had to, so here the social structure was different. I had to go and approach the
Yeah.
headman of the village and have to
Mhm.
explain him. And thank God the headman and the secretary of that village
Okay.
where currently I was working. So
Mhm.
they were really interested in ecology and all, the forest and
Oh,
biodiversity.
nice.
So they supported me. They supported me,
Okay.
and that's the reason I got my field station. And in the beginning, for the locals, others, I was really a foreign object. They used to see
Mhm.
me as that.
Oh.
But the best part is like after, so 2021 to 2023 April, I was there. When I was
Mhm.
leaving, they goodbye me with their tears. So
Oh.
so that was, I think, an achievement for me. There was a struggle, but one day they actually accepted me and they were so happy that I was working. They made friendship with me. And yeah, so they feel also proud that, like, some people are coming and working in our place. So their place is
Yeah.
so rich. So they feel good. So
Wow.
yes, yes,
Nice. It's a touching
it's
story.
very, yes,
So a lot of struggle, and then finally you found your own space over there. That's great.
yes.
Wow. So Meghalaya is known to be an extremely biodiverse region, one of those states in Northeast. So working in the field, working in the forest, do you recall any interesting stories which you would like to share with our audience?
Okay, there is actually many. I was so confused, like which one to pick. I should go with the one struggle story, maybe.
Okay.
So in the big, so after lockdown, like because
Mhm.
of lockdown, I lost like 1.5 year because Meghalaya was totally closed their border. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I wanted to do more Reiki because my previously whatever I worked that was in a Khasi Hills, Shillong
Mhm.
area
Mhm.
and little bit of nearby that. But I wanted to explore the whole Meghalaya, and it was
Yeah.
just the lockdown was over, so there is no
Okay.
transport, nothing else was proper there. So me
Mhm.
and my field assistant, we took a bike and
Okay.
we packed all of our things in the bike,
I
like
see.
even the foods and all the boxes, all the equipment, the clothes, everything.
Mhm.
And we did off-roading for a month.
Wow.
It's
Amazing.
through the tropical forest. Like we started from like Khasi Hills and go to the Bangladesh border down there.
Mhm.
There was
Wow.
no road. There is so many places we stuck. We slept at the outside in the ground. We slept in
Awesome. Mhm.
someone's shop, a tea shop, and we
Yeah.
reached into Garo Hills through the most toughest route where the 50 kilometer take 4 hours for us.
Wow.
So there was like no road, and we see the whole
Mhm.
culture of the living when the where the forest dwellers are
Mhm.
living in a tropical forest. I remember there was in a bike, the road was so narrow that we were getting hit by the all leaves and the branches,
Okay.
and leeches are falling.
Oh my
So
God.
and so and then there was some road, there is no road, like with the
Uh-huh.
all luggage and the bike
Yes.
for like 4, 5, 6 kilometers, we are just walking in the mud. And but yeah, it was different experience, and like it's a true
Mhm.
experience of a tropical forest we got. And and that's actually lead to it discovering many things, and like my project got set up based on that because I
Wow.
found so many diversity around it. I got amazed. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
I think that's the one most of the interesting story I can recall.
wow. So basically, you just went on a road trip for a month, and amazing experience. You get on road trips.
Yes,
Wow. Amazing.
it's not a normal road trip. It's a tropical forest road trip.
Yes. Yeah. It must be scenic. It must be full of life, and of course, full
Yeah,
of challenges.
and lots of challenges. Yes.
Wow. Amazing. So Arin, now you are, I think, finishing your PhD, and now perhaps you are planning for some, uh, you know, higher perhaps research or working in another domain. So human-animal conflict is something that I think you're interested in, and you want
Yes.
to work in it in the future. So which methods, study systems, or regions do you plan to focus on for your work in human-animal conflict?
Yeah, so there is some ideas in my brain. So as
Mhm.
Northeast is my zone, I love
Mhm.
Northeast so much. So I want to work
Yeah.
on Northeast mostly. So
Okay.
I am planning actually mostly focused on like most
Mhm.
I wanted to explore other than also Katydids. I want to explore other organism like
Mhm.
primates because primate
Okay.
bioacoustics also very uncommon in India. No one walk like
Yeah.
bird
Yeah.
bioacoustics. Everyone is walking. The
Yes.
primate is one is no one is touching. So
Mhm.
I'm also interested
Right.
in that. So basically, the thing is the change of the land use and
Mhm.
land use
Mhm.
change, how that is affecting the bioacoustics. So
Okay.
the in change of the land use and the
Mhm.
anthropogenic noise, how that is affecting the
Right.
bioacoustic because the what
Right.
happened that most of the cases the animal they modify their sound, they
Mhm.
they either stop calling them, they change their acoustic behavior based on the
Yeah.
all anthropogenic factor. Like what is the
Yes.
deforestation?
Yeah.
It could be making a plantation. It can be a human animal interaction also. And other
Mhm.
than that, also the sound propagation also getting
Mhm.
affected of the deforestation. So based on that, this all factor can influence the organism to change in their bioacoustic behavior. So
Mhm.
uh, and that can be a very crucial thing. So I wanted to use the bioacoustic to one is to monitor that
Mhm.
what is the diversity there and how they're calling and all,
Yeah.
and also see that how the human noises and the land use
Mhm.
change affecting the
Mhm.
bioacoustic behavior of
Okay.
the organism, which can relate
Mhm.
to we can then come up with lots of different kinds of solution to
Yeah.
fulfill because that's also currently the conservation bioacoustics is one of the very emerging topic, like it's a hot topic. It's like
Mhm.
many people in the out of the outside India they're
Mhm.
working on conservation bioacoustics. Is a very
Yeah.
new topic, so I wanted to introduce that to India
Okay.
and see how it goes on.
Wow, amazing. So a lot of future planning, I think you have started doing now, and
Yes, I
sounds
have
really
to.
interesting because whatever you just talked about is, I think, very few people in India working, and I guess it's pretty important. And we need someone to especially work on all these domains which are still untouched.
Yeah,
So that's really, I mean, good planning that you already started. So.
thank you. I just hope
So
I'll get some grant and all, and then I
oh
can
yeah,
start.
you'll get it. So in academia, we all like of course, academia is about research and teaching both, and we see that purely not research, but also you are into ecology teaching, especially at the undergrad level. So, what are your thoughts on the mindset and capabilities of students of today regarding ecology, evolution, conservation?
Okay. Yes. So I just wanted to say one more thing. Like it's not only
Mhm.
undergraduate. I'm also
Okay.
into outreach program and all. So
Oh,
I did
great.
one outreach program in Meghalaya,
Hmm.
in my field site, with one almost 170 plus school student was there.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. So uh, if I come to the undergraduate student, so I
Hmm.
wanted to say that that was I did mostly in my university. So
Okay.
where undergraduate students are really excited about this. Like nowadays, I think everyone is aware about what is climate change, what is
Hmm.
global warming, what is
Yeah.
other things. So that's the reason they're actually very much focused and they are showing so much interest in ecology. So
Hmm.
I wanted to share some experience with my student. Like uh, in my course, I usually take them for a bird walk, and
Okay.
and I was amazed. The work was for just 1 hour, but
Mm-hmm.
we took them, and then few of the students were so interested that
Mm.
they stay in the field with us for 3 hours, and they were
Oh.
so interested to knowing about like what is around going on,
Mm-hmm.
because and the walk we conducted in Sonipat, this in some
Okay.
village, okay,
Uh-huh.
which is pretty dry area. So
Yeah.
people, they used to think before that, oh, we might find one or two birds, but they
Mm-hmm.
find out like 15 different species, and they get
Wow.
amazed, and they feel like, okay, that can be happen here. So I think new generation, they are actually interested a lot in
Mhm.
conservation and ecology. It's just you have to guide them properly, you have to show
Right.
them. And with the outreach program, what I experienced that in the village,
Mhm.
I thought like it's a small village. There's all the
Yeah.
kids. So I did a one session with the acoustic sounds.
Mhm.
I played the sound and I asked them to guess. I
Okay.
played the whale sound.
Oh.
I played a whale sound, and
Mhm.
in a Meghalaya, sitting these kids, they identify
Mhm.
it's a whale sound. I was
Wow. Amazing.
amazed. I was amazed. Like, so they're well aware about it thanks to the social
Yes.
medias. So then I understand, okay, it's a things is coming from the social media. And
Mm.
these kids were so interested, like
Mhm.
for the whole session, that was like morning to evening, the session was running, and this all
Mhm.
kids. I was thinking they might get bored and they will say, okay, I want to
Yeah.
go home because
Yeah.
parents are waiting outside. They said, no,
Mhm.
play one more video. We wanted to see what happened there.
Oh.
So I was amazed. And then also we did a a thing we said to them, like
Mhm.
we gave them some clues, topics like
Okay.
man and forest. Then we said
Ah.
a pet and for man, like
Okay.
that. And you guys draw it, whatever comes to your mind. So
Oh.
many people they draw like human cutting the forest. That's the
Ah.
only ideology they have, the man and nature relation.
Right.
So I can see that this generation is aware about it.
Mhm.
They know what is going on. So I think if
Yes.
we tell them and if we give them the right message, they
Mm.
will literally protect it because they know what is going on and that is wrong. So
Yeah.
they know what's the future coming. So
Yes.
I feel like the future is bright. It's just whoever in this genre, whatever the teachers are
Mhm.
there, they should enlighten them and show them the path.
Yeah, very true. Actually, I think a lot of people nowadays are very much aware of climate change and all the anthropogenic, disturbances out there. Because it's in news, it's everyone is talking about it, and we are, suffering through
Yeah,
it. So I think it has become a reality of today's world, and I guess students are just, you know, they are, I think, pretty much, they're in living this situation. So I guess they are the ones who need to be strengthened, and we need to really work towards it.
yeah,
Wow.
sure.
So many experiences, so many stories we shared today. And your work leads you to the forest at night time. Working there must be really hard, collaborating with so many people. So my next question to you is about all these challenges that you face when you are doing field work. So especially as a queer person working in conservation, any challenges you have faced so far? What was the support like from your field staff, from your academic, institutes, or academia itself? Has it been sufficient for you, or is something lacking? Is something that you think that can be better? So what is your take on it, Arini?
Yeah. So here is the thing. As a queer person, a queer woman, it's really difficult. It
Mm-hmm.
was difficult, but now it's much better for me because I know it and I struggled
Mm-hmm.
and I know how to fight and I know what to fight.
Mm-hmm.
But the starting was not at all easy, and like especially when people got to know you're a queer person. So I
Mm-hmm.
faced the struggle before my PhD. MSc,
Okay.
faced it a lot, and
Yeah.
then after MSc, like as I chose to be in a
Mm-hmm.
field, to work in
Mm-hmm.
a field, to
Yeah.
be outside, to be outspoken. The
Yeah.
people were not like, I have been rejected in many interviews
Oh.
just because of that. So
Oh.
even also, it's not about queer. It's like any woman was
Mhm.
getting rejected because they feel like you are unfit for a field.
Right.
And it's also happened. Many places it still happen. Even in
Mhm.
front of my eyes, also I saw other girls also happening that. And
Okay.
so another struggle is that I wanted to give a message like that people doesn't know how to deal with that. I think that's the main
Mhm.
problem. They don't know how to
Yes.
deal with a queer person in
Right.
academia, how to give the support. It's like
Right.
they can be ally, they can be like, okay, it's good, we
Mhm.
don't get bothered and all.
Right.
We are happy to support you. But happy to support and giving the support and
Mhm.
understanding their needs, it's very
Right.
different.
Right.
And yeah, I think academia need more. And I can't
Mhm.
even recall, other than my I can't
Mhm.
recall anyone who is a queer uh, scientist,
Mhm.
ecologist in
Right.
India. I can't recall at least. So there
Mhm.
might be many
Yeah.
professors, but I can't recall. So that's why we need more representative, I and we need more non-queer people to come out and give the
Yes.
support to the queer people more, and rather than getting scared, like how to deal with it, how we should.
Yeah.
So give
Right.
them a chance, give them the support. It might be difficult, it might be a go into a very different
Mhm.
direction, but it might
Correct.
came out nice. So that is needed. So thank God my university gave me that support, and especially and thank you
Mhm.
to my university and my PI,
Mhm.
Bittu. So I got this support, and then now I'm okay. I'm doing it. But
Wow.
yeah, I would love to give other people also, any other
Yeah.
queer people who come to me, I give them support. And I have many queer friends, they are now doing PhD, and
Mhm.
yeah, they are doing it. They are doing it well. The
Mhm.
community is increasing, and they are doing.
Yeah. Wow. So that was really, fantastic way of saying this, Rini. I guess our all audiences are pretty conscious about these things, and this podcast especially is for to support different types of people, people coming from different communities, marginalized groups, to talk about it, to talk about the kind of challenges they face and the type of interventions are needed to make conservation a better place for everyone, right? So thanks a lot, Arini, for sharing your thoughts about it. And we really enjoyed this entire conversation with you. It was fantastic, completely new to me, completely new to our audience. So many new things we learned about you, your work, Meghalaya, people of Meghalaya, your future work, and all those tiny things you talked about, which make this whole conservation as a fantastic field to navigate through. And it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter from where you are, and it doesn't really matter from where you are heading. What matters is you like it and you do it. That's what really
Yes.
matters. I think that's what you have been telling us, and you have been. I really feel very proud of you, your work. It's amazing, and I think you should continue doing this.
Thank
So
you
one
so much.
so one last question I'm going to ask you, Arini, uh,
Yes.
which is, I think briefly you mentioned already, but still, what is the message you want to give us to us, to our audience who are interested in conservation?
Yes. So first thing I wanted to say, whenever we talk about conservation ecology, people directly go to the biology only, and they think
Mhm.
it's only about biology and it's
Yeah.
only about science. So I
Yes.
just wanted you to, it's not, it's very
Mhm.
interdisciplinary.
Yeah.
Please accept the social science and other part of it. First, know the culture, know the area, know the local people, how the things work there, and
Mhm.
keep eye on them. Because if you are not doing that, then you're not doing conservation. Because
Right.
conservation is not only conserving the animal, it's also
Mhm.
conserving the nature and people. Without people, you can't conserve the nature. So
Yeah.
there is no point. So it's very interdisciplinary. So many people, they only focus on, okay, I'm conserving tiger. That's it.
Mhm. Yeah.
How about the local communities there? So you know
Right.
about them. Is it? how the dynamics is working there. So
Mm-hmm.
it is very important. And I want ki everyone who are in a biology, they should at least take little bit part in applied science, like conservation. So
Right.
yeah, that's my message. Other than that, I know even if conservationists know what to do. So I am not that
Wow.
great to give advices, but I think that's my part.
Wow. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Arini, for being with us on this podcast. It was really an interesting discussion. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Pankaj, and thank you, the whole team of the People of Nature. Thank you for having me.